Imagine this. It's your day to get a new car. Maybe your lease is up, maybe your car's just too old to drive. So it's your day to go into the car dealership to get a brand new car. And you say to yourself, no matter what you've been through in the past with these shady, slick, snake oil salesmen, car people, that this time around is going to be different. That this time around you're going to do your homework and you are going to negotiate yourself the best deal possible. And what happens? A couple of hours go by, you leave the dealership, you get the car that you wanted, but you realize you got duped once again. The exact thing that you said you were not going to let happen is exactly what did happen. The bottom line is you lost out on the negotiation. Well, don't worry, because in this video, I'm going to share with you 5 simple steps to combat this problem. This is Paul Mascetta with The Influential Mind. Stay tuned. Okay, so what I got for you today is basically 5 simple steps to avoid getting duped in a negotiation. And they may sound like common sense, they may sound real simple, but as I often say, common sense sometimes really isn't too common. So if you execute these 5 simple steps, if you're conscious of them, you're automatically going to have an upper hand in comparison to people that don't. So the first thing is, you got to be yourself. If you walk into a negotiation and you start programming yourself or talking yourself into this state of mind where you're going to get the best deal possible and no one's going to get over on you and you're not going to get duped, that's one thing. But oftentimes when people do that, they start talking themselves into being a character that is different than the person that they actually are. So you got to be yourself. You got to be true to who you are. The second thing is you got to find your style. Some people have a more laid back, I could care less type of negotiation style where, not that much is at stake for them, so they really don't care if they get the deal or they don't. Some people are more aggressive and hard-nosed. Again, it goes back to the first thing. You got to be who you are, you got to find your style, and you got to stick to it. Because if you deviate from it at any point, the other person, consciously or subconsciously, is going to pick up on that, and you are going to look weak in their eyes, and they're going to prey on you, and you're going to lose. The next thing is you got to be consistent. You have to be consistent in whatever position you're taking in the negotiation. So once again, if you're laid back, if you're giving that kind of approach where you could care less whether or not you get the deal or not, stick with that. If you are being hard-nosed, if you're being aggressive, you got to stick with that. If you bring any data to the table that supports your reason for why you should get the best price possible, like your credit score, or maybe you've done some research on comparable prices of the same car, then you have to remain consistent with that. Don't deviate from it and don't backpedal when someone confronts you about it. Next thing is, as crazy as it sounds, you got to set a goal. You have to know exactly what it is that you want to pay before you walk into this negotiation. It can't be like a ballpark figure, like, oh, maybe I'll pay $300 a month, maybe I'll pay $350 a month, maybe I'll pay somewhere between $300 and $400. You have to go in there with an absolute set in stone goal that you are going to make it your business to stick to that goal and push that person to get you as close to that number as possible. Which leads me to the 5th point in tying into that goal is that, again, you have to be ultra specific. You have to know exactly what you want and exactly what you're willing to pay for it. If you're going to negotiate a house, if you're going to negotiate a car, if you're going to negotiate a salary, you have to be ultra clear and specific as to what you want and what you're willing to give in order to get that. And it's ultra important that you write this down and bring it with you to the negotiation so that if for at any time, maybe you get a little frazzled, maybe you lose your train of thought, take a bathroom break, excuse yourself, go and revisit that list so that you know exactly, again, what it is that you're there for and what you're there to provide. So again, to recap, number 1, be yourself. Number 2, identify your style. Number 3, be consistent, meaning you stick to that style. Number 4, set a goal. And number 5, be ultra specific and bring that goal with you in writing to the negotiation table. Want to know exactly what you need to know before you walk into any negotiation? Click the link right there and download the pre-negotiation checklist absolutely free. Now, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, leave a comment, and make sure you subscribe.